Hey guys, so I've been playing Overwatch for now going on, I think like 2 weeks, and I've been pretty active in the competitive scene ever since actually getting into Overwatch. This video actually is just more of a discussion on the sort of state of the competitive community and some of the stuff that I've seen, and it's kind of informal. I'm not going to be doing any editing, so if you hear ums, ahs, all that stuff, I'm not going to be editing that out. So I apologize in advance, especially any breathing or anything like that you hear. But with that said, one of the things that happened in the competitive scene over the last like 2 to 3 weeks that we've seen is mainly that, especially with the last one. Actually, some of the video that you're seeing right now was from one of the matches that we had with Google Me, which happens to be like one of the top 2 teams. I believe Melty and Google Me are like the two teams in the competitive community that are kind of the big shots at the moment, and they're the ones that are the ones to beat. And both teams kind of devolved into a specific comp, meaning that they picked a certain hero selection, basically. And this was 2 Lucios, 2 Winstons, and then basically like a Reaper and, you know, another DPS, and basically it just varied on that. And both teams kind of did that specific thing, and it was basically because of the way that the Winstons and Lucios and also the Genjis functioned together, along with Reaper, because of the way that it worked, and because of the fact that Blizzard has kind of like an open hero policy, with the fact that they are able to just, you know, say that you can just switch on the fly. It's been because of the rules that it's that way, so you're going to end up with weird and interesting comps, and that's cool, and that's something that, you know, ultimately will be something that we have to deal with long term. However, over the last you know, couple weeks, it's been kind of impossible not to use that specific comp. There's really no counter for it, and a lot of people were discussing the facts that, you know, with the way that the game currently is, and the comps and the fact that you can actually switch just to whatever you want, kind of make it into a point of play that, you know, we're going to come up with weird and interesting comps and, you know, see what happens with it. But that specific comp basically is almost unbeatable. So everybody kind of started using it. The entire tournament scene started using it. So the entire tournament scene kind of devolved in this one composition of team, and kind of made the entire play rather boring to watch. And one of the things that we saw over the last week, and just I believe 2 days ago, as a response to all this stuff, it was kind of in murmurs that Blizzard and also other people who were community managers were rather disheartened by what happened. And they responded by basically making Winston's bubble really easy to kind of tear through. They nerfed Genji to almost a floor. It's a pretty hard nerf for him, and also made Lucio, nerfed him, nerfed his HP as well. Didn't really nerf any of the abilities per se, you know, kind of nerfed the way that they work in combination with each other. So it basically was a direct response to that problem. It seemed like it was directly, you know, having to do with the way that stuff worked. So that being the case, it got a lot of people up in arms, really, and it basically made a lot of compositions, not just that one composition, kind of pointless. A lot of people who were former Lucio players, you know, now have started to take to Mercy, so it's shifted a lot of the gameplay to, you know, using Mercy in combination with Pharah, so we're seeing that come back again. And also, you know, soldier comps with Mercy as well. And we'll see how it shakes out. But part of the discussion, or part of the reason why I wanted to talk about this, is because it kind of brings in the way that Blizzard does their stuff, basically, with balance. If you remember World of Warcraft or Diablo, you kind of end up with like flavor of the months, and this is the kind of state of things where broad changes happen, you know, for almost no reason at all. And the hope is that that doesn't become the norm with Blizzard. Obviously, this is a beta, and you know, beta be beta, and you know, it's obviously going to be changing in large degrees. But the hope is that that doesn't continue into retail, because like their other games, they typically do that, and they respond a little bit too willingly to the community and make the game actually less good as a result. And it devolves into like flavor of the months. Normally with like RPGs or MMOs, this is not necessarily a problem, because they're kind of trying to keep things fresh long term, keep people coming back, all that stuff. But when you're talking about like an FPS, where competitive communities are kind of sticks in the mud, and they have to kind of learn long term how things function, even from a reactionary basis, these are things that take a lot more time to kind of adjust to. And I've seen with my own competitive community or team, and also from the Ghost community and the ESL community, it hasn't exactly gone over too well with people in that community. Now you can say, you know, it's our fault for trying to like play competitively, you know, a game that's currently in beta. However, one of the things that is as a result of us playing in a beta, you know, trying to play competitively, is the fact that Blizzard is getting great feedback from us about what works, what's really overpowered, all that stuff. So it's kind of like a give and take. So again, I'm not saying that this is a like real big problem right now, and I'm not even saying that it's something that we have to really be concerned about. I'm just a little bit concerned personally that if this continues to go on into release, that I would be very wary of that, and would caution Blizzard to make sure that they're not just doing very wide swaths of gameplay balance week to week in response to, like, you know, how things are going. I would really hope that Blizzard at least kind of gets the game to a state where they don't have to do that, because frankly, with those kind of wide swath changes, it throws their whole idea of like hero swapping, all that stuff, into complete disarray. And in fact, we've already seen competitive communities like ESL and Ghost 2 Gamers, and I believe One Hit Club are now only single heroes. Now that that this has happened as a response, they've gone back to just a single hero selection instead of you being able to change to multi-heroes, multi of the same class. So again, I would just caution Blizzard, and that's just my feedback on that. Wanted to kind of give you guys a heads up on things on that stuff, and this is basically just what I wanted to kind of get out there. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you have any comments or feedback on this video or anything that you might want to talk about, be happy to hear in the comment section below.